Thanks guys for visiting Cinemaximalist. Here's the top 5 most disturbing horror movies rated by horror fans. Number 5, Insidious. A family looks to prevent evil spirits from trapping their comatose child in a realm called the Further. Although it sounds pretty typical, it actually isn't. The jump scares are plenty, there's one of the most frightening demons you'll ever see on film. And let's not even talk about that creepy dancing shadow. The film will scare you so bad you'll think twice about watching it again, if you ever do. It rates 6.8 on IMDb and 66% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 4, The Mist. A freak storm unleashes a species of bloodthirsty creatures on a small town, where a small band of citizens hole up in a supermarket and fight for their lives. An excellent film based on a Stephen King novel, this movie is one of the most brilliant and controversial endings of all time. It's so explosive that many watchers of this film have told me they never want to see the movie again. Fun fact, director Frank Darabont also created The Walking Dead. It rates 7.2 on IMDb and 72% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 3, The Orphanage. A woman brings her family back to her childhood home, which used to be an orphanage for handicapped children. Before long, her son starts to communicate with an invisible new friend. Some people say this is the most depressing film they've ever seen. Nevertheless, it does evoke a gothic-like beauty. It contains extremely haunting images of children with special needs, one in particular who walks around with a sack over his head. There are plenty of jump scares to keep you interested. The ending is so crazily emotional that you'll feel like your heart has been ripped out of your chest, an experience that you only need to try once. It rates 7.5 on IMDb and 87% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 2, Funny Games. 2 violent young men take a mother, father, and son hostage in their vacation cabin and force them to play sadistic games with one another for their own amusement. If you get through this movie the first time, you'll start to question your own sanity for watching this mind-screwing film. I haven't seen the recent version, but the 1997 original was enough for me. The film doesn't use a lot of shock and awe violence, but plays out its murderous sequences as brutal reality. If that doesn't make you never want to watch it again, wait until the main character speaks to you directly and fill you deep down with a big helping of guilt. It rates 7.6 on IMDb and 66% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1, The Exorcist. When a teenage girl is possessed by a mysterious entity, her mother seeks the help of 2 priests to save her. The Exorcist is known as one of the scariest films of all time. While most people don't debate that, they do debate its watchability. Many people have said that they chose to sit through it once for curiosity, but what they saw was so terrifying that they never wanted to see it again. Apparently, it had people puking in the theaters when it was first released. Is it the sight of a little girl masturbating with a crucifix? Or when her head spins a full 360 degrees? It could also be that creepy spider crawl Reagan does down the stairs. There are plenty of reasons why you'll never watch this classic horror film more than once. It rates 8.0 on IMDb and 86% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And just for good measure, guys, I gotta mention a Serbian film. An aging porn star agrees to participate in an art film in order to make a clean break from the business, only to discover that he has been drafted into making a pedophilia and necrophilia-themed snuff film. That's right, you heard me correctly, it's despicable, but I had to add this one for good measure. The one and only time I watched this, I was like, can you even do that in movies? And when asking friends about it, they were like, just see it, you'll see what I mean. This movie fits in as much depravity as possible by following the storyline of a man who agrees to make a porn film only to find out they're the most depraved porn films on earth. There is a simple reason why you'll never want to watch this movie twice if you ever get through it once. Infant rape. I said it was despicable. It rates 5.1 on IMDb and 43% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And that wraps up our list today. Do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments what you think. What films would you put on your list? Thanks, and we'll see you next time.